Hi there, this is your friend Anna, and the question that I've been getting the most from all of my friends is what are we wearing? This age-old question isn't just about choosing an outfit, it's about choosing how we present ourselves to the world. I created the I Want Her Shoes podcast to dive deep into what it means to dress with intention, whether you're heading to a council meeting or just having a casual day out with your family. Join the conversation as we explore the power of personal style and the decisions that shape our public personas. Put on your favorite pair of shoes and step into my closet. Welcome back to I Want Her Shoes podcast, where we spotlight powerhouse women redefining what it means to lead, shine, and take up space in their own skin. And I'm your host, Anna Anderson, and today's episode is about beauty, but not the kind sold in bottles. It's about rituals, resilience, and reclamation, and how we choose to age in our own terms, right? My guest is Addie Kaplan, founder of Facial Healing by Addie, a boutique wellness sanctuary based in South Florida that's changing the conversation around aging and skincare. With a master's in industrial engineering and a second act as a facial reflexologist, would you say? Yeah, Addie took her analytical mind and turned it towards holistic healing. And her mission is to help women feel sculptured, radiant, and restored without injections, pressure, or shame. And from lymphatic facial sculpting to gua sha facial cooping and beauty taping, Addie's treatments are rooted in the belief that true radiance comes from within, and she's not anti-Botox. She's pro-choice, pro-ritual, and deeply committed to helping her clients feel empowered in her skin. Addie, welcome.
Thank you. You could be my PR agent. Oh my God. What you wrote here, I didn't even send. Usually people ask me to send it to them, and you're like, oh my gosh, wow.
Well, I love to do the research and learn about my guests, and I actually had the pleasure of getting this facial from you this week, just 2 days ago, and I still feel amazing. I felt like I was just describing how I felt after I felt like I needed to sleep, and I released something. And I've never really experienced the facial like that. So I highly recommend you trying Addie's facial. But I would love to learn about your journey, Addie.
Okay.
You have a master's in industrial engineering, which is really interesting. What led you to switching paths, really, and stepping into the world of holistic beauty? But before that, where are you from? Are you from South Florida, or how did you end up here if you're
So I am not a native. I'm not even from America. I was born and raised in Israel. And at the age of 5, I moved with my family to the U.S. My mother's American. So we moved to the U.S. We lived in Tucson, Arizona, middle of nowhere. Moved back to Israel, grew up there, and then moved with my then partner, today husband, to the U.S. We lived in New York and New Jersey for 10 years. Moved back to Israel for 10 years, had kids. And then moved back to Florida. We actually started off in Tampa. So, and now I'm in South Florida, where I love it here.
Well, I love that you're here. And now let's talk about you switching paths, career paths, which is such a different vibe.
Yeah.
But and I can't wait to hear how you relate those, your knowledge to this new path that you've chosen.
So I've been doing this for 5 years now. It actually started when I was around 40, and I was a stay-at-home mom at some point. I worked for big companies, Toys R Us, Man's World, logistics, all that. And when my oldest daughter was born, I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. Took a few years till we could afford it, but then at some point we moved back to Tampa, and I'm like, okay, I don't know anyone here. My kids are in school. What do I do? Then when, my friends started doing Botox and started injections, and I wanted to look younger or look, glowing, but I didn't want to do it with toxins. And I was looking for different alternatives, and I actually started off with getting facial acupuncture done on myself. And that acupuncture, that was even in Israel. And my acupuncturist told me that there's like stuff that I can do on my own. She knew I'm not going to go the Botox way. So she actually is the one who introduced me to gua sha, to facial cupping. These are tools that...
Oh, yeah, this is what you were doing.
Yeah.
I was like, what is that?
It's like kisses. Cool. Yeah. That's the facial cupping. And what it does is it actually extracts and retracts the muscles. It really puts suction, and it also helps with lymphatic drainage. But these tools I knew nothing about, probably like 10 years ago, nothing. And then, she taught me about it. And then when I came to the US, I'm like, okay, what do I do with myself now? I knew I didn't want to go into that man's world, to logistics, to, industrial engineering. No. I wanted to be home with my kids when they come home from school. And actually, my husband is the one who's like, you should do something with what you love, with, your self-care. You do it all the time, so do something with it. And the first thing I learned was facial reflexology, which is this metal stick that goes on your face, and it works on different pressure points on the face, because your face is a map of the body. And with this, it's funny because, I'm an industrial engineer, and people say, oh, you engineer faces with this stick. So that's kind of like the correlation to what I do today, but really it has not a lot to do with it, one with the other.
Well, and that's okay. I think that's a really good pivot into something that you really love.
Yep.
And you've coined your approach to NOtox. What does that stand for in your world, and what inspired this philosophy?
So I can't say it's my philosophy. It's been out there. Even today, you can find NOtox Instagram accounts, because we're finding out as time goes by how bad the toxins in Botox are, Botox toxin. And I knew that I didn't want it. So no toxins, NOtox, for short. And I think that a lot of it has to do with the way that, women want to look younger, but I am not anti-anything. I don't like the word anti-aging, because I'm not anti-aging. I am aging. I want to look younger. Yeah, exactly. It's nature. And I want to look, I want to look less than my age, but in a natural way, in a no-tox way. So that's how that's why I like, the NOtox instead of anti.
Yeah, you have like an Uma Thurman vibe. Do you get that?
I do.
Yeah.
I haven't done it in a while, but thank you. That's a compliment.
I think it's the green.
Oh,
yeah, for sure. Walk us through one of your signature treatments, Addie. What is the experience like? I mean, I had it, but why don't you walk us through it, and then, maybe I'll add to it if you miss anything.
I would love, because I've never experienced it. So
you can't do it
I can't do it myself. And actually, I curated my own facial. I went to learn facial reflexology. I flew to New York to learn gua sha. I learned cupping. I learned brushing, lymphatic drainage. But and I could do 1 hour treatments on each and every one of these, maybe not the cupping, but the rest. But I decided to make my own. I took little bits of pieces of each one of the courses that I learned. And I mean, I have them separately as a service, but I'd like to do, I call it the quantum facelift, because it generates a lot of energy because of the facial reflexology. And it focuses a lot on lymphatic drainage.
Do you think a robot can do this?
No. Oh, that's like AI cannot replace.
I know. There you go. That was my question. Yeah, because there's no way I don't think I would trust like a machine to do that.
Well, imagine. Yeah, like, it goes a little bit.
Exactly. Oh,
and the pressure, and plus the touch of your hands. It's
the energy, like you said.
The energy. Yeah. Some people, when I use facial reflexology on them, they think that I'm using something electrical, because your body is full of electricity. Mm-hmm. And if they're like their day is like stressful or full of, too much energy, the stick will feel like, one of the women said it feels like she got struck by lightning, and then she started crying. So it's a lot of emotion.
Yes, it's very,
and skin to skin, there's nothing that can replace it.
I know that's amazing. And you blend ancient wisdom with modern technique.
Yep.
From reflexology to tuning forks. How do you decide which modalities to use for who, and like what time, like, you know what I mean? When? Yeah. Because you have all these different tools.
So first of all, I ask the client, what is your concern? Why do you come to me? First of all, it's a conversation. We start a few minutes talking. Even if it's a client that's been coming to me on a monthly basis, I always ask, what's going on with your body today? How are you feeling? What's hurting? If nothing, I say great. Those are the answers that I like, but I need to know because I can always add in something. So I always do facial reflexology. That's like my baby. I start with that. It really creates energy and flow in the body. It works on the emotions just through your face. It's a total body reset through your face. And then if they, if their eyes are bothering them, I'll do lifting with the Japanese facial massage techniques that I learned, or I'll do some more gua sha. If they feel puffy, of course, facial lymphatic drainage, that's a must, but then I'll do more of that. And, they want to snatch jawline. Snatch jawline always goes with facial lymphatic drainage because it means that your jawline isn't standing out and something is puffy around it. So, or lifting, so it depends on what the client wants. And then I weave into it what I see, their faces are telling me.
Yeah, no, that's a great answer and a great approach. And many women feel shame around aging. How do you help them reframe that narrative and step into more loving relationship with their appearance? Because I think it's really all about that, right?
100%. I totally agree. So a lot of women come to me because, oh, your skin looks amazing. And, and it's not. It really isn't. I do have lines. I do have, some days my face is more sagging than others. And I tell them, first of all, love yourself. Everything will come after. Love yourself and spend time on yourself. We always take care of our kids, our partners, our animals, whatever, our pets, and our parents. What about me? If you don't take time for yourself, you're going to be looking in the mirror and saying, I'm not worth it. Then of course you're going to be you're going to feel on the inside the same way, and you're going to look it. So I think a lot of the glow comes from within. It's a cliche, but it's true.
I agree. No, I think it really is like how you feel, right?
Yeah.
Because how you look, and I feel like once you change your mindset, you could see people
embrace your age. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And let's talk a little bit about science meets soul aspect of your work. How do you does your background influence how you approach skincare and healing?
So a lot of times, I ask why. Why does the skin look like this? Why do I get puffy? Those are the.
You mentioned like some days you're more you look puffier than others. Like, why does that happen?
Why does it happen? Did I eat a lot of sugar or salt the day before? Did I drink alcohol? Did I, was I in an environment that was, toxic for me? Was it stress? Everything. And that shows up on your face immediately. Stress shows up in your jaw, like magic, opposite of magic, it's like things that go on in your life and asking the why, in industrial engineering, why, and then you do, a process. So that's exactly how I work on myself and my clients. And I think that's what kind of helped me, I must say in the beginning, it was not a good thing. Me being an industrial engineer, my teachers, I can't say they hated me, but I was the one asking all the questions. Like, oh my God. But how does that happen? You touch here in the liver, but how? But why? But what? I was driving them crazy. I think I helped them improve with their answers and with their methods, I think a little bit, but that was me. I was like, but why does it happen? But how? But calm down, and now today, just like you.
Feel it.
Exactly. Yeah. And when I came to you and I asked you, how do you feel? She's like, I felt tired. Do you get that a lot? I'm like, everyone is different and I have to embrace that. Now, 5 years later, of course, I understand. But in the beginning, I still, you might feel this, you might feel, no, I wait to hear what they feel. And then I tell them, you're detoxing, you're releasing emotions. A lot of things are happening in this treatment, which is not just a facial.
Yeah, no, that's a great answer. And what do you wish more people knew about their face, energetically and physically? I feel like, again, before Botox, how old is Botox? Maybe it's like 30 years old or something. My grandmother used to do these exercises with her face every day, and she looked pretty good up until she was 60 years old, but she would do these weird things. So what could people do, I guess, physically or even energetically, we could feel better, we could be more confident, but maybe what can we do at home?
So at home, first of all, when you look
we use one, I mean,
Of
I don't
course.
know. I have one of these little
The
things.
gua sha,
Yeah,
yeah.
I love that. That's
Yes.
really nice. Yeah.
So,
that's nice.
first of all, being persistent is most important. Even if you do just 1 minute, you can even use your hands. This brush is amazing. It contours the face. It fits
cool.
exactly. I don't want to touch because my face isn't clean, but you just going lymphatic drainage. It's from the middle of the face to the ears and down the neck. But you start from the bottom. You want to make sure that everything is clear on the bottom before you go a step up, because otherwise it'll just cause blockages. So lymphatic drainage, this is literally a minute, and then you can take, if you have a car line like me, taking the kids, I wash my face in the morning and I just take it in the car, it's really easy. And and doing gua sha, you do need oil for gua sha and cupping. So these two, I mean, you can do it in the morning, you can do it in the evening, cupping mainly in the evening. You don't have to do it all. I have classes that I do, workshops online and in person. And this one girl, more than once it happened that they want to do all the classes. I'm like, no, please start with one. And then in 3 months, come do the other, because you'll be overwhelmed. Right? That's same with me. I took one course, I waited 6 months, did another course. I built up my ritual and my business one step at a time, because if I learned it all at once, I wouldn't have remembered anything. And
you probably wouldn't use it.
Exactly. So
I like how you called it a ritual.
Yeah. And I also always tell my clients to leave it out. Don't put it in the drawer. If you put it in the drawer, you'll forget about it. Just leave it out. Make sure it doesn't break, because these break. But the tools, just leave them out, even if it looks a little messy. But that's how you'll remember. Put it in a nice box.
That's a great advice.
Mm-hmm.
And your social media presence is so authentic. I love it. What's your approach to showing up online while staying grounded in your mission? Because I think that's hard for some creators.
I think I have the luxury of the way that I created my account was just being there, no filters. No, I don't put on any foundation in 99% of the videos that I make. Maybe I'll do a little blush and a little eyeshadow, but mascara, that's it. Just be very authentic and be real. Like, if something doesn't work for me, I'll say it. If something does, you'll see it. So I think I have the privilege of just showing up. I think that's what I'm trying to tell my followers. Just be authentic. You're beautiful, believe in yourself, and the rest will come.
I love that message. Thank you so much for spreading it.
Of course.
And how has your personal style evolved as you've grown your business, and how does fashion play into your daily rituals?
Oh, that's a great question. So I think I toned down. I'm like, whatever's comfortable for me now, I'll wear. I'm not gonna, I don't buy I'm not gonna say the brands, but everyone's wearing, these athletic brands. I don't have any of those. I wear what's
those are bad for you. I feel like they have like all this plastics in them and stuff like that. Like, I haven't bought an athletic thing for so long.
Yeah.
I feel like the older stuff was better than
exactly.
new stuff.
Exactly.
Like, who knows? Yeah.
You're like, you can't breathe.
Yeah.
And the synthetics and the everything together. It's like, no, I wear what's comfortable for me. Same with shoes. Same, which we'll talk about in a minute. Same with, with clothes, whatever is comfortable. Of course, looks good. I like to buy pieces that I like, of course, but I don't fall for the, all those things that you can't breathe in and you have to hold your breath to close the zipper and all that. No, not for me anymore.
Well, let's talk about the shoes. Let's take the shoe off and tell me the story about.
Okay, so this.
Oh my God, these are so cool, Jeffrey Campbell.
It's a glowy kind of.
Describe what it is for folks that are not watching.
So this has a very, very minimal.
But it's like a round heel.
Yeah, it's very minimal and round. I used to wear I wore higher heels. Now I don't wear any heels. My husband,
that's a heel.
No, I know, but
cool.
this one is cool and it's comfortable.
Yeah.
And I never used to could wear the sharp, pointy shoes, but these are so comfortable, and that's like my motto. Also, it's like shiny and glowy. It's just like what I like.
Like your skin.
Exactly. I never used to wear like shiny, stuff. It was always black and always like pale and all, but these shoes are like my new favorite shoes. I love them.
I love them.
They're very comfortable. That's the most important. Comfortable. I will never wear something that's not comfortable.
It looks amazing with your outfit.
Thank you.
And your skin.
Thank you.
All right, well, let's do this or that. Addie's edition. Facial reflexology or gua sha glow up or both?
Oh my gosh, that's like asking me which child do I like more. So I'll say both because I love them both and they go hand in hand, really.
They do. Sculptured cheekbones or tension-free jaw or both? I think might be both.
No, actually, of course I want to sculpt a cheekbone, but the tension-free jaw, that'll lead to a sculpted cheekbone. And plus, when you're tension-free, you're relaxed and everything changes. So, of course.
I love that. Yeah, that's a great answer. Natural glow or bold glam?
Oh, natural glow. Of course.
Silk pajamas or fluffy robe?
Silk, natural.
Yes.
Yeah, and I love silk anyways.
Sunrise matcha or moonlight meditation?
I'll say moonlight meditation. I love, the moonlight has its energy.
Same. I love that as well. Miami Spa Day or NYC Museum Stroll?
Oh, you're not talking to the right person about the winter in NYC, so...
No, Miami.
But even if it was summer, Miami Spa Day, yeah.
Any day.
Mm-hmm.
Daily ritual, spontaneous self-care or both?
Well, daily ritual, of course. That'll lead to the glow. Everything you do daily, even if it's minimal, then is good.
Power earrings or minimalist face?
Oh, minimalist. That's me.
I think that's you. Addie, thank you for bringing your grounded wisdom, healing hands, and beautifully holistic energy to the I Want Her Shoes community. You remind us that beauty isn't about turning back the clock. It's about turning inward and really loving yourself for who you are. And that grace, radiance, and strength can live side by side on every woman's face. And to our listeners, whether you're curious about natural skincare, ready to reimagine your rituals, or just looking for a gentler, more empowering way to show up in your skin, this episode is for you. And we're going to share Addie's information, and you have to try her facial because it's really amazing.
Thank you.
So, and may you honor your face as a map, your glow as a reflection, and your presence as your most radiant signature.
I love that.
It was so nice
chatting with you. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, I had so much fun.